Hi, I am vlogging my Theology Network Day at Tyndale House, which is this building there. I'm now back home from Theology Network Day, and this vlog is just going to show you what we did at Tyndale House, which is essentially a centre for biblical research. So there's loads of PhD students attached to it, and there's literally thousands of books to do with the Bible, and it's a very cool place, so hope you enjoy. It's also the first place where the NIV and the ESV was translated, or like not the first place, but where a large proportion of it was. When we first got there, we had tea and coffee, and there were lots of Cambridge students there. A lot of people were studying theology or history, and then me and Pippa were medics.
No, wait, this is terrifying.
Hello. This is Amy. We're sitting in the garden of Tyndale House with tea and biscuits. Your thoughts from the first session?
Impassioned to learn Greek and study the micro aspects of like Greek grammar and learn grammar for the first time in my life.
Do you mean grammar for the first time in your life?
Instead of just translating by vibes.
Yeah,
which doesn't work too well.
He was telling us about how you can kind of infer some things, like maybe Jesus spoke Greek instead of Aramaic from different alliterations and rhymes in the Beatitudes.
By the specificness of Greek.
Yup. I actually really liked your question. Why is it that it's a bad thing to want to be like a professor? Yeah, or is it actually a bad thing? Because that's what he implied. Actually, it's all about your heart and what is your motivation behind it.
Should we be terrified about him?
After the first break, there was 3 seminars, each by a PhD student associated with Tyndale House. So one of them was doing some like research about names and how you can like trace down names and like know the geographic location of where things happened in the Bible. And one person was researching Job.
The language of Assyria and Babylonia, Akkadian, functions sort of like English
for most people. And then you figure when God starts to speak in chapter 38, you should probably tune in again.
This is where these are the people when you see a genealogy, they believe that person.
Hello Esme. Hello. How have you thought about Theology Day so far?
I think it's been really fun. It's been nice to sort of see like the different eras that people are working in, how there's so many different routes you can take it, because I think when thinking about biblical studies, there's often like this danger of going like, it's just the Bible, nothing else. But, like, it's everything.
What's one thing that most stood out to you?
Like Pete's talk at the beginning. Just sort of the way he was talking about like Greek and like the bit he said about how Pilate's words are the same in every gospel, and how we know that's probably what he like actually said. Like that's just so cool to me, like having a direct quote from someone like that. Like, that's just pretty cool.
Nice, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And then in the afternoon we had either a Greek workshop or, I can't remember what the word is, but when you engrave words into stone. So I chose Greek because I've never learnt Greek before, and we went through the start of Matthew's genealogy, and it's quite interesting. They didn't have space between words, and it's awesome to read the Bible in its original language.
Why don't they put spaces between them? Or why do we put spaces between words?
One thing that you've taken away.
I would like to come back and use that library because that looks fun.
We shouldn't pay too much attention to chapter divisions in our Bibles, because in early manuscripts of the Bible they just had a little number in the margin, not a great big one that breaks up the text, because we don't know that that's where a new idea begins.
I really enjoyed today. I think the main thing that I took away was the fact that there are so many people that are so on fire for God, and like one of the girls who taught today memorized the whole book of Job in Hebrew. I was very impressed, and they gave us this really cool, very sturdy magazine, and it has an article about how to memorize scripture. So I'm excited to read that. So thank you to Tyndale House and UCCF Theology Network for organising a very inspiring and fun day. See you in the next vlog.